of the tapestries, I decided to choose this. In my opinion, is the most beautiful, amazing, the miraculous draught of the fishes. Look the ability of the weavers to follow the sketch of Raphael by crossing the threads, silk, flax, or even gold and silver threads to create the effect of the sfumato of the atmosphere evaporating in the thin air like smoke, the reflection in the water, the accuracy in the rendering of the feathers of the cranes, the variety of the fishes, and even the lower band is a monochrome three-dimensional band. Only a great master like Raphael could reach this result, and of course the weavers were able to transform this into this magnificent tapestry. And among the three huge panels painted by Raphael, I chose this because this is a sort of hinge in between the high Renaissance, the upper part, and a new period that was interrupted by the death of Raphael, who died just a few weeks after this was finished. He passed on the 6th of April. It was Good Friday at 9 p.m., aged 37 years old, 1520. And Giorgio Vasari, one of his biographers, said that at the sight of this living work of art, along with his dead body, all the hearts of those who were attending to the funeral burst with sorrow. And here you can see the evolution of the art of the artist. So the upper part is truly high Renaissance, very balanced, symmetrical, forming a triangle with Jesus ascending in the heavens before his passion, flanked by Moses and Elijah, with the three apostles, Peter, James, and John, overwhelmed by the vision, and below, in the scene of the boy obsessed by the evil spirit, healed by the vision, the scene develops horizontally. We break the harmony. The colors are darker. Here, the field for the great revolution of Caravaggio is already prepared. And Caravaggio, labeled as the bad boy of Italian 1600s painting, this is not correct, in the sense that among his mentors and patrons, he had the most important cardinals of the Curia, even the nephew of Pope Paul V Borghese, Scipione. So he needed to follow the true orthodoxy of the Roman Catholic Church. And what is quite interesting is to underline the deep spirituality of Caravaggio, who removes all the background to focus on the dramatic scene of the entombment of Jesus. And Jesus' arm abandoned is pointing at the stone of his tomb. The stone shape is triangular. This is the cornerstone refused by the builders that will become the foundation of the church. And look well that the tomb is not empty. If you look carefully at the bottom, you can see a green plant. The name of the plant is verbascum, and that was a plant whose leaves were used to lit the torches, light. So there is light, there is the idea of the resurrection in the tomb already, and Jesus will grant the resurrection to whoever will follow the teaching of the church, like Nicodemus. So it's very strong. And by the way, Caravaggio studied carefully the ancient master. Look the arm of Jesus. And this reflects exactly the Pietà by Michelangelo, but also the arm abandoned of the transportation of Raphael. And both these were certainly inspired by the ancient Roman statues of the papal collection. So let's try to understand how much these ancient statues influenced the art of the great masters. We will leave the picture gallery to head towards the pinecone courtyard and the ancient departments. Well, the pinecone courtyard is easily named after the huge bronze pinecone that is in the niche. This is a Roman craft, likely a fountain, that was brought in here where it stands now after the renovation of the Basilica of St. Peter's, where it was located in the Middle Ages. In front of the pinecone, so the symmetrical wall, symmetrical to the big niche where the pinecone is inserted, there is the magnificent Chiaramonti wing. This is a sort of a bath in beauty, dive in the beauty. It's white with this natural light filtering through the windows, making everything glowing, especially the statue. Among the others of Augustus, this is very famous, very important for the Roman art with the attitude of the speech. And Augustus is not far from another wonderful statue that represents a river. In the ancient Roman times, waters in general were represented, as you see, a partly reclining man with a beard and symbols to be identifiable. In this case, this was the Nile River. How can I say this? Because if you look under the elbow, there is a sphinx, there is also a crocodile playing with the cherubs, and the cherubs themselves are the 16 cupids or the levels the Nile River reaches, flooding, fertilizing the river banks and bringing abundance. This is the meaning of the cornucopia. But if this wing is very pure, very beautiful, the true core of the Department of Antiquities is the Belvedere courtyard. This was designed already in the 1500s by Donato Bramante, the architect of Pope Julius II, to have the opportunity to put on display the impressive collection of antiquities of the Pope. And the courtyard that was restored in the 1700s still presents some of the most remarkable statues of the papal collection, of which this is magnificent. Laocoon, the priest of Apollo, who tried to warn his fellow Trojans not to open the doors of the city to the wooden horse, a gift of the Greeks. In Latin it is, Timeo Danaos et dona ferentes. I fear the Greeks, even bearing gifts. But Athena, who protected the Greeks, sent the 2 snakes to kill him and his 2 sons. Imagine a work of art of this magnificence was carved between 40 and 20 BC. And this will be one of the most copied statues of all the times. The torsion of the body, the sufferance of the head that was copied for many crucifixion. And just to give you the sense, look here, this is one of the characters of the Last Judgment of the painted by Michelangelo of the Sistine Chapel, and this is truly replicating the position of the body of Laocoon, as well as the nudes framing the scenes on the ceiling painted by the same Michelangelo. Another work of art that is very celebrated, even if August 2023 is under restoration, is the Belvedere Apollo, considered the perfect ideal male beauty, so much that his profile will be again copied by Michelangelo for the profile of Jesus in the Last Judgment. But Apollo had a long legacy, because if you look here, you can see that Canova, who was a famous sculptor of the 1800s, in sculpting his Perseus with the head of Medusas, almost literally quotes the Belvedere Apollo.